What's up, guys? And tonight we're going to be taking a look at the powerful upcoming storm system that will bring severe weather to the south, southeast, and mid-Atlantic, and potentially blizzard conditions to the Midwest. If you guys like this video, hit the like button, and if you want more weather coverage, subscribe. Other than that, let's get into it. So first, we're going to take a look at updated model guidance, and this is inside 4 days out, or yeah, it's 3 days away, so we're confident we're going to have a storm. Now we're just going to be narrowing down the exact details, like the exact track and the exact amounts and totals like that. So anyway, here comes your storm. This is early on the 4th, late onto the 3rd of March. So then you're midway through the day on the 4th, going into the 5th, and then the 5th, the early morning on the 5th is when this the heart of the storm is really going to be the strongest part of snow-wise anyway. And you can see it drops to a 979 millibar low pressure system, and that back end snow right there on the front side where you see that pink in Wisconsin and Minnesota, that is blizzard conditions right there. You may not get blizzard warnings because it has to be for 3 hours or more. I think that's what it is, but you'll probably experience blizzard conditions and whiteout conditions for a brief period of time if you live in these areas. And all models are showing that the storm is going to be a little bit stronger than originally expected, and I've released sort of the snow portion of it. And then the storm keeps going, and it moves northeast and moves through the Great Lakes and brings a decent snowstorm into Wisconsin, and then moves out. And then you get this other storm that develops after it, but we won't talk about that quite yet because it's still 7 days away. But let's take a look at the European model, and this model is also trending a little bit stronger. So this is the updated run, 18Z, and here comes your storm on the 5th. Same timing, it starts developing, and then the heart of the storm is early morning on the 5th, just like the GFS said. And you can see that it's a little bit further south. It's hitting the same areas up north in Wisconsin and Minnesota. However, that snow does get a lot further south in the Euro model than on the GFS model. And you can see it still strengthens to a 979. Again, bringing blizzard conditions, but instead of Minnesota, Wisconsin, maybe it's a little bit further south down there. And the Canadian model is showing something a little bit similar to the GFS model, so we'll take a look at that. It's not the best model, but it's still a major model to take a look at. And you can see that it still brings this heavy snow up into the south, the Euro, but it's not quite as strong, and it's more strong on the northern end. And it's about the same placement as the GFS. But the Euro model is typically more accurate, just based off when I've been doing weather forecasting. But you have to look at both of them. So what I'm going to do is take a look at the 93-hour mark, or 90, and then I'm going to do compare models, and you get to see where each of these models are. So here is the Euro, here's the GFS, here's the Euro, here's the GFS, and we will actually just go to 84. This is the heart of the storm, and where it's going to be the strongest. There's the GFS. You can see that heavy span of snow is further north in Minnesota, and in the Euro model, it's a lot further south in Kansas and areas like that. So we're still going to narrow this down the next couple of days and figure out exactly where it's going to be. And the NAM model is not, it's a good model, but it has to be within 48 hours. It can't be the beginning or the end of the run. And the Icon model is agreeing with the Euro a little bit, so I think we're going to get more of a Euro look as of right now if I were to take a guess, but it's going to change. We're also going to have a very severe weather outbreak with this, and you can see that that line of storms moving into Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas. That is going to be extremely heavy storms. We're going to have possibly tornadoes, hail, strong winds, all the stuff that comes with severe weather. We're going to have this, and it's going to be a kickstart to tornado season, and then that continues to move east. It's not quite as strong, but it still brings a quick line of storms to the mid-Atlantic and southeast. And the GFS does show the same exact thing for the severe weather, maybe a little bit stronger. And yeah, there it is, moving into Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and then moving south, and yeah, that's all she wrote. And then have another storm developing after that, but again, it's too far out to talk about. So, what is the National Weather Service saying for this? For the severe weather possibility? Well, it's showing that there's a 30% chance of severe weather still, and you're going to see this increase a little bit more. But it typically doesn't really increase until it's the day of. So it's looking very likely we're going to have severe weather. If you go on to the National Weather Service website, you can see that they highlighted that area on there as well. Let's take a look at the snow totals, which these will change, but depending on where that heavy line of snow sits up, I think someone's going to get a foot out of this. But anyway, here's the GFS model, the one that shows you a little bit further north, and here it comes, and bam, you can see that it does bring a swath of 14 inches, 12 to 14, 10 to 14 inches here in Minnesota and into Wisconsin. And the Giro model is showing a little bit further south, just like it's did on the radar. And here it comes. And it's not quite as strong, but it still brings 8 to 10 inches into Minnesota, Wisconsin, and it just brings that snow a little bit further south, and it's still 4 to 6 inches down into there. But something I really like to look at this far out, about 4 days out, is the blend of all models for the snowfall. So this takes in every single model and kind of combines it together, and there's the length of your storm, and you can see that the blend of all models is not really agreeing with the Euro model, and it's showing that this heavy snow will be further north, and it's still giving a 6-inch snowfall mean into Minnesota, Wisconsin this far out, so that's pretty good. We'll see that increase in the coming days, but unless the other models start to go towards the Euro model, it's looking like the Euro model is the outlier as of right now, and it could change, but it's looking like you're going to get a little bit more of a northern track than what the Euro is showing. I do think someone's going to get a foot out of this storm. It's a very strong storm, and it will bring a lot of severe weather and snowfall, and potentially blizzard conditions. If you guys like the weather content, please subscribe.